Go ahead, sweetheart. Go ahead and say what you want to say.
Um, Thank you for having me on your show.
You're very welcome. Welcome, everyone. If you can hear us, okay. If you can, just put in the comments. On time, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we actually had some time to actually come here and have some conversation. And Baby Sam is low key and chill, so we won't get interrupted, hopefully. So,
Yeah, that's very important. Very important. Very important. Family life, right? So today we're going to be talking about. First off, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Samuel Richardson.
and I am Tiara Richardson.
Yes, and we have a company by the name of Cuddle with Purpose. We do. You can also follow and subscribe with us on our YouTube page, YouTube account, which is Cuddle with Purpose. And we haven't posted a video in a while, but we want to get back into the routines of things of me and my wife coming together as husband and wife because we feel it's very important to talk about relationships and then talk about different people's relationship and how we can add value, the importance of love, the importance of commitment, the importance of just being honest with one another. And I think that's
Right.
something that's very important why a lot of people respect me and my wife because we have that love and we show it consistently on a daily basis. So just to get into y'all in for a treat. I'm trying to tell y'all in for a treat for the night because we're going to be talking about Cam Newton. Cam Newton, and he had broke up with his girlfriend, a longtime girlfriend, who altogether they have four children together. And he's with his new baby mama, if you can say that, if that's the right terms, which is Lorena Shaw. So I'm going to share our screen right here. So you can kind of just gather a little bit to knowing this is the new baby mama. They have three children together, which is Lorena Shaw. But he had some interesting conversation with Brittany Griner. I think what's her last name? Brittany. Y'all know the IG model. I can actually show
Yeah,
you to you. I don't think it's Brittany Griner though.
I
I
don't
don't think it's
remember her name.
Brittany. Yes, Brittany Renner.
Rainer. Yeah,
Rayner.
Rainer.
And everyone knows who Brittany Rayner is. She's going, I'm saying she's been you know, talked about on a lot of conversations that you can see here. And they did a show together, and Cam Newton had brought her on the show. But let's just get right into the first topic of conversation is Cam Newton and his have decided to break up. So T, what are your thoughts about Cam Newton breaking up with his longtime girlfriend? Because I believe, there were a lot of people that was thought thinking that they was going to get married, right?
Right.
And that did not happen. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, for one, I'm glad he finally broke up with her. Like, at some point, you got to get to the point where you realize, like, this has come to a dead end. Like, everybody is not meant to get married. Everybody's not meant to stay in relationships for a lifetime. Some things has its expiration date. And from, if we're speaking in regards to the interview when Brittany Rayner came on his podcast, he was honest. He was like, I wasn't being faithful. She wanted to get married. I knew I wasn't the person for her. So he basically removed himself out of the way. And I will applaud him for doing so. So I don't really have any quarrels or feel any type of way about them breaking up. I'm sure that was a probably something that was brought up numerous times, and either she had to walk away or he had to walk away. And maybe she didn't want to walk away because she had already committed and had already had these children and thought, maybe things was going to change, but it didn't. Right.
Yeah, I think it was something to think about. I think the first thing we want to talk about is that Cam Newton made a decision, and I believe it was a responsible decision. I believe it was a decision that he felt was best for them, their family dynamics.
Right.
I think oftentimes, and I know it's this guy named Brian Davis. He came on our platform and said, if you're needing credit repair assistance, please let me assist your results in just 2 to 3 weeks. No, it's not no results. And first of all, that's a scam comment or caption. There's no quick results, Brian. So if you want to do credit repair, you can actually go on your platform on Facebook and you can market yourself. So don't come on our platform respectfully talking about credit repair and then creating a lie talking about in just 2 to 3 weeks. No, that's not true, sir. So get your mind right first, and no, because I'm a board certified credit consultant. So get yourself right. Now let's go on. Yeah. So Cam Newton made a decision I believe was best in their dynamics.
Right.
And I think one of the things I did like about the decision, what Cam Newton said, was that he knew that he couldn't be the best husband he could be for Kia Proctor, his longtime girlfriend. With that being said, he was cheating. With this, it's no, lie about that. This is facts. He talked about it on the show with Brittany that he felt shameless. He felt ashamed because he knew he was doing things and having relations with other women while he was supposed to be respecting and having that commitment with his longtime girlfriend, Kia Proctor. I think it's so very important. I believe, and I'm speaking from a man perspective, is that a man knows if he's committed or not to his girlfriend. And a man knows if he's committed or not with his wife. I think it's so very important that men be honest with themselves. And what I mean by that, if you know as a man that you don't have that commitment DNA,
just stay single.
Just stay single.
It's okay. It's okay.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If you know that you have a problem with your flesh.
Yes. And that's a woman too. That ain't just men.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the men right now. We're gonna get into that with the women. We're talking about what we do know what Cam Newton was doing. With Cam Newton, obviously the math, if you do the math with the children and their ages, we know that he was having relationships possibly with Lorena, the new girlfriend, while he was still in a relationship with Kia Proctor, right?
She got kids.
Yeah, right? Yeah, they got like 3 kids together.
So he probably got like what they call ghetto twins, where they got different mamas.
What does ghetto twins mean?
That means like
what does ghetto twins mean?
Like basically he has 2 people pregnant at the same time. So the kids were born at the same time, but they got different mamas. So that's I think that's basically what that means. Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, I want to say that he has 7 beautiful children. And I particularly like Cam Newton far as the football player. I like his stance and his perseverance, his belief system. But we want to talk about relationships here. I think it's so very important. Commitment is one of the topics that I want to talk about. And that's what Cuddle with Purpose is about. It's understanding when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's important to be committed. I think, so many times we have men and women that break that commitment because of sex. Let's just talk about it. Sex and different, peer pressures or however, how based off on a woman look, how based off on a man look. But we was talking about this earlier, and you had said something that was very interesting, Tiara. You said that you felt that he kind of like cheated Kia Proctor in a bit where it wasted her years.
Yeah, I feel like now she has 4 children, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's in her 30s at this point, maybe late 20s or early 30s or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, she has 4 children?
Yeah.
Now, granted, there may definitely be a man that's out there that wants to still, become a bonus father or stepfather and wouldn't mind taking on that responsibility. but it's not a whole lot of people that's out there, regardless if her baby's daddy is Cam Newton or if he's, somebody else. I feel like he could have given her the opportunity and saying, this is not what I want.
Mm.
And maybe they may have not even had all of the children that they had.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that does bring down the chances of her because that's her end goal. He knows her being a wife is exactly what she wants to do.
Mm-hmm. True.
Now she's in this point in her life where that hopefully that's because God does give you the desires of your heart.
Right.
He's gonna have to, I don't know, find that man from somewhere who wants to come in and say, I want to take care of 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just bring it back to, I'll never forget when we were dating and we were having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was single
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have any children, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had been divorced and you
Mm-hmm.
had children.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember before we had met, one of the things in my mind, I was saying, I'm not going to marry somebody with children, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, after I met you, I met the children and I got to see how amazing of a father you were. I was like, oh, he definitely can be the father of my child. And so
Mm-hmm.
that shifted that one perspective of, or that thing that I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. But I do remember you saying, if I had children, you would have not pursued me. You was not trying to be a stepfather.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's true, but I think when you're getting in a relationship, that can be a person's mindset from the beginning. But one of the things I want to, set the record straight is that your perspective can change when you get in a relationship with someone, when you start developing feelings with that person. I believe it depends on the dynamics. It depends on how much you fall for that person, because I do truly feel that we can have all the X's and O's on what we want and what we don't want. But once you meet that person and you fall in love with that person, and guess what? All those X's and O's goes out the window, because now you have developed a trust. You have developed a keen sense of love and you're in love with this person. So I believe definitely it would have been considered on the dynamics of, the relationships with, with me moving forward with the baby dad. If that was the case, some of those things plays an intricate part in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the next topic of conversation, though, with that being said, people are speculating that Cam's new attitude might be responsible for the breakup. And my question to you, Tierra, do you feel that Cam Newton attitude of breaking up with Kia Proctor and deciding not to marry his longtime girlfriend was responsible of him?
I guess that's when they say attitude, what do they mean? I mean, because he's always had a level of confidence. Some would say arrogance, but I feel like he's always been, an outgoing individual. I feel like he's always been confident and aware of his abilities. He is not afraid to speak. He's not afraid to show his personality. I'm not sure who he is behind closed doors, but as you grow and you go through different things, like the scenario of what he's gone through with football and getting your ego bruised with what is it, the New England giving him this $1 million contract. That's an insult to somebody who's played, to the level that he's played. But then him being able to come back to Charlotte and being able to get what $11 million contract or something like that.
I'm not sure exactly the numbers.
Something like that. But I feel like sometimes when you grow, you realize that you can't grow with people. Sometimes it's time to cut things off and not to continue to live a lie. because if you look at the timeline, it clearly looks like he had an overlap going on with these relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, you can't hold up a lie for about so long. You can't be in two different places for about so long. And
Mm-hmm.
in this new day and age, women aren't sitting and staying just because for whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I would say I would give him some accountability that he did have. There is a level of accountability because he could have easily married Kia Proctor, right?
Right.
He could have easily married her and, they go on with life and whatever arrangements that they have, because there are a lot of people that get in relationships and depending on their stature, they do have arrangements. And they
Yeah.
do have certain arrangements based. Yeah, you have a lot of them. And I say this, and one thing I want to say with Cuddle with Purpose is that we don't want to come off as judging relationships. And what we do is extract and add value to everybody who, aspire to get married one day, is that you want to make sure if you're a person that don't like sharing your husband,
Right.
if you're a person that don't like sharing your wife, I think it's so very important that you make sure that you get in a relationship with a person that only wants to be with one individual.
Exactly.
That has to be the topic of conversation. That has to be a commitment conversation that you have. If you don't want to share your significant other,
Please make that clear.
Please make it clear, very clear, because let me tell you something. If you have just a ounce of cheating in your blood and you feel that, you know what, I can get away with this, I can have my cake and eat it too. You better make sure that person doesn't come up with some things that want to get into some threesomes. Because if you're not a fan of those type of things, have those conversations early. So that way you don't feel like you're wasting your time.
Wasting time, wasting life, and just here you go 30 years later and you like Steph Curry's parents, and that's just sad because even Steph Curry as a 30-plus-year-old man, he's hurting and his parents are going through a divorce. So at the end of the day, people just need to keep it real. But whatever works for your household, whatever works for your marriage, works for your marriage, and keep it in your household. That's for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And as you can see here, let me go back to sharing our screen, where we have Kia Proctor's longtime girlfriend. I do believe that they have 3 biological children and 1 other child that she had from a previous relationship. And as you can see here, this is the longtime girlfriend that he had for about 6 or 7 years. Coming to a decision, I'm quite sure they've been through a lot. I'm quite sure, obviously he put it on record that they've been through, where he had cheated multiple times. And, she stuck and stayed. And I think it's something to talk about. And I kind of understand what my wife is saying, that she possibly may feel cheated in a way that, she wastes some of the years of her life. Because let me just have this topic of conversation. I feel she gave some good years, her good prime years. Anytime when a woman has children, their body go through changes. And and when you have 3 children with someone, yeah. But we're gonna talk about her and the new boo that he's with now. Yeah, she looks good, but the other one that he's with, my goodness. But with that being said, I think it's very important just to discuss here is that women, and my wife can talk about this because she's, saying is very good in having these type of conversation. I understand what she is saying is that when you decide to have a child with a man, and especially when you start, even with that first child, and then you start having multiple children, you want to make sure, I'm quite sure she had the mindset that eventually she was going to be Miss Newton.
Oh, first of all, sis was already operating in the role.
Yes. Like they were married already.
She was already operating in the role. So that's number one, probably I don't want to say a mistake, but I do feel like when you give all of that and then you give all of that to get nothing at the end. I mean, she got some beautiful children in the end. I feel like she may have grown. She may have gotten some notoriety. She may have even gained some success, you know, and some may feel like she really done blow up because she got a blue check. I don't know, because, you know, that's how people rate themselves in these days. You know, you got a blue check, then you official, you know.
Right.
In some people's minds.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like she still has the ability, because if you think of like people like Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nikki Murphy, beautiful, bad woman. I mean, she's in her 50s and she's fabulous. And there's people that love her, and she's had 5 children. I don't think she's had issues with dating or someone necessarily wanting to marry her, because I think that Michael Strahan did propose. I'm not sure why they didn't get married. But either way, if Cam was honest, she would have had the opportunity to move on with her life and pursue something else. That's just how I feel about it. But, you know, sometimes I will say everything happens for a reason. I will say that once these children, no child is a mistake. And, you know, those years may have been part of her journey, part of his journey. And so now she can just go from there, you know. Nobody, I guess we all from the outside can always say, well, what if, or this is going to really hurt her, or blase, blase. But it may very well not do anything. It may let the next man know, hey, she could be a mother. She could be a good wife. You know, it's a twofold thing, but I do feel like both have to take credit for the time that they could consider being wasted. You know, she knew of his infidelity. She knew of his behavior. She knew of all those things, but she stuck and stay, like a lot of women who stick and stay in that in that industry for whatever other many benefits and reasons. But then also he stuck and stayed. So, you know, my thoughts are like all over the place right now. So,
it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. I feel, you know, at the end of the day, I feel that we have choices.
Right.
And I feel she made her choices, you know, having the first child. Then she made her choice having the second child with him. She made a choice having the third child. Now, mind you, now this is the drop mic moment for me.
Right.
After when you have the first child, there was no ring on the finger.
No.
After you decided to have the second child, there was still no ring on that finger.
Child.
After you decided to have the third child, there was still no ring on that finger. Now, mind you, I'm going to say this. It is very important in a relationship, and let me put the camera back on with Kia Proctor. It's very important in a relationship when you want to have a child. A child is a big deal to me personally.
Oh, a big deal.
And and it's very important to have a child in a 2-parent household. I feel. Now, I'm not saying that a child cannot be set up for success even if the mother and father are not together. But I'm saying if you have aspirations of marrying this man or marrying this woman,
right,
it behooves you to make sure that you have these conversations and set boundaries and say to yourself, okay, if we already have one child, Cam Newton. Now, if you talking about you want to have another child, we know that we're doing things that can create another child. When you going to put a ring on this finger?
Right. But sometimes some people feel based upon the dynamics of their relationship
Mm-hmm.
that where they're at is okay. Because we don't know what he was telling her throughout the years.
Yeah, sure.
Like I'm sure they had multiple conversations, but at the end of the day, she probably felt like I'm still winning
Yeah,
in so many ways. Because
yeah. I can see
there are a
that. I
lot
can
of
see that.
people
What you talking about? Oh, I'm with Cam Newton, one of the top NFL quarterbacks at one time.
Yeah, she may have still felt like in some way she was still winning. So, the ring will come. He ain't gonna marry somebody else. He gonna marry me.
That ring didn't come though.
But the ring didn't come. So
let's preface that. The ring never came.
I think that's where a lot of people get bamboozled because they feel like a baby is going to secure the ring. Now, a lot of them also feel like it's going to secure a bag because we got people out here having babies for bags too, aka a check. However, sis was like, 3 babies. Oh, we definitely gonna get a ring. Like, hands down, no question asked. It's like, no way in hell I'm not gonna get married.
Right.
But do you know how sad it would be going down the aisle knowing that your soon-to-be husband has a whole nother family in another state? How happy could you possibly be? Especially if that's not what you actually signed up for. If that's not really what you really want. So at the end of the day, I applaud Cam for walking away. I like his podcast say. I'm glad he kept it funky. I'm glad he said, you know what? I ain't gonna do this.
Well, I think this is, let's go into this. Is that Cam Newton, a little bit about Kia Proctor. When they met, that she was a dancer. They don't go into details what type of dancer she was, but we can assume she was possibly a stripper or things of that sort, or a professional dancer of that sort. And she was under the name of Hazel when she was a dancer before she started dating Newton. And when she met Newton, probably because the stature and the means that he have and the resources, she probably didn't have to live that lifestyle anymore. So with that being said,
Come on, Hazel.
This is Hazel right here. And as you can see, that's a big tattoo she has on her stomach. Right here over the years, this is the new girlfriend, Lorena Shaw.
She looked like she had a nose job.
What my dad told me one time?
What?
My dad had said, if you go cheat,
make sure they're a bad one.
He said, if you go cheat now, make sure that they're a bad one. They look better than the one that you with. Don't go backwards. My dad was old school. He said some stuff like that. He said, if you go cheat, make sure you cheat with somebody who a baddie. And I will say that Lorena Shaw.
She's a baddie.
Come on, y'all put y'all comments in there. Y'all put y'all comments in there. Engage with the. What do y'all think?
Cute.
Do you think Cam Newton upgrade or he downgraded?
They almost look alike. If this girl,
man, they don't look alike. They don't look alike. They don't look alike.
Nose job. It doesn't look bad at all. And if she did get a nose job, kudos to her.
They don't look alike. How they look alike?
I'm saying they probably did before she got a nose job. They probably look alike. She got a little tan, and she looks. Is Brittany the other girl? I mean, the first baby mama Proctor. Is she black or is she mixed? Or he looks like he kind of has a type,
I mean, all men have a certain type.
You're right.
All men have a certain type. I feel, and women too. I feel that it's important to discuss here with Lorena Shaw. Is that he's had children with Lorena Shaw. and he decided, he wants to be in a relationship with Lorena Shaw. Let me tell y'all something that I feel in relationships. I do feel sometimes if you're in that arena where you're always like a sex symbol and you always have women that's coming at you from all different ethnic groups, if you don't have that mentality that you're willing and to be committed to one person or individual, you're going to always be cheating.
I mean,
you're gonna always be cheating. You might as well be in an open relationship. You might as well be in an open relationship, never get committed to getting married, and say that you want to be a bachelor for the rest of your life because these women are my kryptonite. Right. And I love having a relationship with different women.
What is interesting to me is that, and just thinking about it, is so he was cheating on Kia Proctor with her, right? And I'm just wondering if she feels like she's where it ends, because
that's a good question.
Like they both been cheated on. Like he hadn't, just because he was with her while he was with Kia didn't mean that he wasn't still sleeping with other women. He just said, you know what, you got good DNA, so I'll make you my baby mama.
Got the good hair. Becky with the good hair.
Chad Ochocinco say she got them good ankles. She got them good ankles. She's athletic. And so, yes. Good breeding grounds. Yeah. So, I don't know. But, it is what it is. Kudos to Cam. I'm just glad that Cam ain't trying to play Cam no more with the football, to be honest. I feel like when it comes down to relationships, people gonna live the way they want to live. People gonna do what they feel is best for them. No story is cookie cutter.
Right.
No relationship is cookie cutter. And it's always something to talk about. But at the end of the day, his lifestyle is different, and his discipline level and what he decides to do is different. He's committed to playing ball. He's committed to being successful. He's not necessarily committed to a woman. And I think that relationship and marriage requires a level of commitment to self before it's even committed to the other person. Because you have to wake up every day to choose to be married. You have to literally wake up and say, this is what I want to do today. This is how I want to show up in my marriage. And then the way that I show up is basically what's going to help set the tone for today, for this week, for this month, and for, moving forward.
Yeah.
So he probably he's moving into the direction potentially of commitment. And maybe commitment to one individual, or maybe just narrowing it down to not making both baby mamas believe he gonna marry both of them, because she probably wanted a ring too.
Yeah.
Now she got 3 kids. The other one got 3 kids or 4 kids. All of them want a ring. In the United States of America, I don't think they all can get married. Is that possible?
No. I think is anything is possible.
Yeah, you're right.
Anything is possible. I'm not going to say. Let me make sure I say that anything is possible. We have Dr. Umar Johnson. He's known to have. He has several wives or several porcupines.
You sound like you say porcupines.
Concubines. That's what it is. I think, man, in relationships, man, and this is a good topic of conversation, because, really for me, it all depends on the individual, because to me, there is no gray areas for me. And this is for my mentality. Right. When I met UT, I understood that I wanted to get married again. I knew that I had no issues of being committed to one woman. And because, that's who I feel a man should be. Not judging Cam Newton at all, because I feel for his different strokes for different folks. But for me, I think we have to have a level of serious conversations because, we have an obligation with Cuddle with Purpose is that when we're talking about relationships, one of the key factors in relationships is commitment. Being able, what comes with commitment is having trust with one another. And I think whatever that trust factor is, it just seems to me, if outside looking in, Kia Proctor probably felt like, dang, man, even though it may appear we could think about because of the money that Cam Newton makes and how he's able to provide and all those things is fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, when you have 3 children, 4 children, and they stick and stay in spite of you cheating on them multiple times, there's a level I think she probably was looking for that, you know what, man, give me my props. I'm down. Like, I've been down with you for 6, 7 years. Let me get this ring. Let me get this ring on this finger. And to turn out and say publicly, I broke up, because I don't feel I could be the best husband that I can be for her. Then at some point, damn.
Like, how long you didn't know that, though?
Like, you ain't do that after the first child? Now, I'll give every man, like, if you have a child with that person, you know what I'm saying? You can have that oops baby, right? And you can love that baby because there's, that oops. But then there has to be a level of responsibility moving forward.
Right.
Like a la Nick Cannon. You got all these babies that you're having. And I find it quite interesting how he comes out now and he's saying that he made a song, and a lot of people saying that he's prefacing that how he apologized to Mariah Carey because he wasn't the man that he was supposed to be. That is a common thing that I'm seeing. Nick Cannon said it. Cam Newton said it. But what I'm saying to as a man, let's kind of like know this ahead of time before we have all these babies. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
What I continue to see, I don't know. It's I have so much mixed emotions because some of the couples that I think are very beautiful couples from the exterior and what I see that they've built, it's so conflicting because, I often say, like, Cookie Johnson, bruh. Sis risked her damn life. That's a to make it to 30 years.
She the MVP.
She the MVP of life.
Yeah. Okay. She's stuck and stayed.
I mean, she's stuck and stayed. And
when she could have easily broke that off and move on and have her millions of dollars and live a whole nother life with someone who, could have been treating her right and all that.
Ex-wife walked away. I just feel like, and no decision I feel like is wrong because I think it's up to the individuals and those in the relationship.
You say no decision is wrong?
I feel like no decision as far as whether you stay as a wife or if you decide to leave.
Oh.
I feel like either way isn't wrong because she decided to stay. I don't feel like she's wrong. I feel like they've been able to navigate through that relationship and they are now who they are today. I look at Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant. She also received one of the ultimate embarrassments, right? And here you see them.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant and Gianna.
Yes, 20 years later, their marriage is like really looked up in high regard. It's really respected. And so I feel like that's where it's so conflicting, but I think it goes back to what's your boundaries? What can you take and what you can't?
Yeah.
Because
that's the key.
Everybody's struggle isn't infidelity. Your struggle can be anything and your breaking points can be anything as well.
But this one we talking about infidelity.
We talking about infidelity.
We talking about infidelity.
Yeah. So for these people, Even currently, everybody loves Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
Oof.
Brother had a whole baby on it. Now this one might be a little different because I believe they were supposed to be like on a break, maybe or maybe not. I'm not sure. But anyway, he
was having sex with somebody while they was in a relationship.
Okay. So
Gabrielle Union talked about it.
But now they're celebrated, you know. And I just feel like that has created a pattern throughout the celebrity world of, you know, we stick and stay through this type of stuff, you know? And bro, that's team a lot.
Man, let me tell y'all something.
That's a lot, okay? That's a lot. Like, great day. Like, when I looked at the interview of Magic Johnson that he had after everything came out about his illness, and how he just was like, yeah, I just love women. And, you know, they just be wanting to do stuff like in the conference room, you know? And, you know, so there might be like 20 women at a time. And man, I just got to like show up and do what I do or whatever. And I'm paraphrasing y'all, but I can only imagine how Cookie was like, this motherfucker, did he really, out of all of this?
Yeah.
He really said that?
Man, listen, y'all. Men.
But he was true to who he was. So,
man, let me tell y'all
it
something.
is what it is, I guess.
Y'all need to take a page out of let me first go from a biblical story.
Ooh.
Joseph.
Oh. He run.
Joseph ran from the Pharaoh's wife. She wanted that D, bro. She wanted that D bad. She wanted him bad, but Joseph said, Joseph said, like the Bible talked about it. He had rejected her and went the opposite way so hard that she ripped his robe.
But make sure you add he ran away because
let me make sure he went. Yeah, he ran. But see, away. I feel men.
Some other people run up in. You know,
a lot of men don't run away.
Yeah, they run up in.
Yeah, they run to it.
Run to it.
Now let me tell you something. Let me give you a little funny with LeBron James of this story that happened yesterday. So LeBron James was I think he was at this ball or something. And they had the camera on him, and it was these groupies. And these groupies were saying, hey, LeBron James, you want to go to the strip club? LeBron James ran. I ain't never seen a man run so hard down the escalators. Now let me show you. This the video.
On, bro. Shout out to my girl.
Now he should get a championship for this.
Come on. Shout out to my girl Savannah.
Now listen to this. Look how he running.
This club is where we going, bro.
Look at the groupies. LeBron James gone.
Yeah,
look at him.
Like hell no. They ain't even
come on, man.
See, LeBron don't even give them the opportunity to catch a clip. Okay.
Come on, man.
Because of the level of respect and high regard he holds his queen Savannah. Let's give a hand clap for Savannah.
Savannah is. Let me tell you something.
Let's grace.
Let me tell you something.
Is like the Michelle Obama of wives of athletes. Savannah is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a girl.
Let me,
is a girl. Okay.
Let me tell you something. Y'all take it for a joke, but Savannah don't play.
Savannah don't play.
Savannah don't play.
Okay.
Savannah do not play. But I want to stick on with LeBron James because LeBron James understands the magnitude of who he is. LeBron James, to me, that level of commitment there that shows, and I know it's just a short video, and I know, you know, it's something that we don't know what a person is really doing behind closed doors. But let me just say this. How many rumors have you heard of LeBron James sleeping on his wife? How many rumors have you heard where he is openly disrespected his wife, where he's had a baby out of wedlock with another woman? Let me tell y'all something, man.
Steph Curry.
Or Steph Curry. But let me tell you this. This is what a cuddle with purpose is all about. It's respecting your significant other even when they are not around you. Because let me tell you something. Allah, there are a lot of people that are in positions of power, but soon as they get off that mantle, they have that doggy lifestyle. And what I'm saying to you, you owe it to yourself in the relationship is to be honest, to be straight up. If you know that you don't have it in you to, to be a good husband or to be a good wife, because this is the topic of conversation, what we're talking about. Cam Newton owned up to it and said that, you know what, I can't, marry her, say I can't be the husband that he wanted to be. But I would say I would give you some level of respect there. But on the other hand, I would say, bro, you just not finding this out.
Why you couldn't let that girl
we couldn't speed up this process just a little bit and understand and know that this is the person that you did not want to be with.
I wanted to make a point.
Go ahead.
Because I thought about it earlier when it came down to Cam and Kia Proctor. And just thinking about why we created Cuddle with Purpose and where that derived from is knowing that when you and your spouse come together, there's a level of purpose.
Absolutely.
Of you being together.
Yeah.
Like, I truly have always felt that our marriage was bigger than just us.
Absolutely.
Like, because of the various events and things that have transpired over next month being 6 years of us being married, I realized like it was like a divine connection. It was kind of like a God connection. And so much greatness has been birthed from our union. So much greatness has been birthed from us being together and deciding to make that commitment, because I think it goes beyond just being a good husband.
Absolutely.
I think it goes beyond just being a good wife, because really, what does that mean? Because some people may say you're good because you're a provider, or you're good because you cook every day, and they may fail in other areas. But I feel like maybe there wasn't a bigger purpose beyond what Cam Newton and Kia Proctor had. Maybe that's where the road needed to end, because there was nothing that they were supposed to build together. I look at Brandon Marshall.
You said there was nothing that they were supposed to build together?
Like sometimes I
think they already built things together.
What I'm saying is I feel like that's the end of the road. I feel like when I think about people like Brandon Marshall and his wife,
I don't think it's never the end of the road when you have 3 children together.
Okay, but that could be what they built. What I'm saying is this: outside of our children, we are building other things. You see what I'm saying? Outside of our children. Even this platform is something that we are building outside of our child.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is their relationship that's where the buck stopped. And so, his purpose in his new relationship, or whomever the woman he marries, that there's a purpose in that. There's a purpose that with Savannah and LeBron James being together, because he mentions it every day that she's a key piece and component of that. There's a purpose in Aisha Curry and Steph Curry and what they're building together, and how he's supportive of her vision, she's supportive of his vision, and how you got Cookie Johnson. He didn't just do, of course, he's the face, he has the money, but he's always stated how intricate or how vital she was in developing what he has. Even Denzel Washington talks about his wife's purpose. When people become one, there's a bigger purpose in them being together. And sometimes some people end up together, one shouldn't even be together. They may have had children, but they might have not even sort of been together in the first place.
That's what you're saying of Cam Newton and Kia Proctor?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the purpose, the buck ended. the road ended for them. So the purpose of their relationship stands as far as them being parents and co-parenting their children together in the best light that they can possibly do. And she can now move on with another person if there's a purpose in that new relationship that she will get in. There may be a purpose maybe in this new relationship that he's in if that's what he decides to pursue and commit to. So that's my stance on relationships, marriage, and that you becoming together has a bigger purpose than you just saying I do, and us having a ring and putting marriage and Mrs. and all that title stuff. It's bigger than just the title.
Yeah, I would say this. I believe all those comes in together with the package. And I would say with Miss Proctor, there is a level of strength from her that I feel. I feel there is a level of unshakable courage. I believe she's a phenomenal mother. I believe she's has been a phenomenal girlfriend to Cam Newton, because I haven't heard when that conversation of him saying anything negative about it. He owned up to his faults. Right. I do feel is that it can come off a little bit selfish of Cam Newton. Yeah. I do feel that way. And I do feel that, when you're in a relationship with someone and you have 4 kids together, and then turn around and say that, you know what, I couldn't be the husband that you wanted me to be. Okay, no S, Sherlock. You could be the husband because you were cheating. You was, but you still had gratification. See, you was able to still gratify that hunger of lust that you had and still be in a relationship with someone else. And I believe from a woman's perspective, I applaud her for giving him grace.
Yeah, because everybody deserves
she gave this man grace, man. Yeah. She didn't out this man out. Right. I think, man, Kia Proctor is the MVP. Kia Proctor is the MVP. Let me tell you something, man. Because she respected her man enough that she did not trash him out in the public eye. Do we understand and know that at one point Cam Newton was at the height of his career in the NFL? Right. He was one of the top quarterbacks. He was doing this. He had endorsement deals, all this business. He was able to create business ventures. Not one time did Kia Proctor come out and say anything negative about him as a man, as a boyfriend. All I'm saying is that, let me put it on notice here on the Affirmative Talk Show, on our Cuddle with Purpose platform show, is that Kia Proctor signifies and embodies the strength of a Black woman. How the Black woman supported her Black man. Right. She could have tore him down. Right. And she could have become a bitter Black woman. Right. But what I'm telling you is the level of strength, the level of patience, the level of understanding that you have to have as a Black person in period. That reserve nerve. Like that's a level of consciousness that we have to justify, that we have to bring out, because she has 4 beautiful children with this man. And to be able to still support this man at a high level and not say or shame him, that deserves some kudos to me. And to me, from a certain perspective on how she's handled herself, that's Cuddle with Purpose.
Yeah. When you put it like that, I can truly understand that, because so often we can break us down.
Yes, man, especially what's going on in the world today. Right. Breaking down of the Black man, the Black man getting shot and killed, the Black man being talked negatively, but she preserved that strength. She stayed him. She made sure that she didn't do anything to break him off that mantle as a Black man.
Right. And I do applaud her for doing also that's also the father for children. And I feel like that's where a lot of women um
This is the
go
topic what I want to
wrong.
talk about.
That's where a lot of women fall short, is that they go and then they humiliate,
Right.
marginalize, and
Right.
try to insult the person who they chose
Come
to
on,
have
man.
a child with.
Come
So
on.
that's just that's a lot within itself, and I do think that that is something to definitely be applauded. But once again, that may be all the reason why somebody else does decide that they want to commit to her, because of the level of respect that she has,
Come on,
level of
man.
resolve.
Yeah,
A
man.
lot of women do not have the level of resolve in them to say, you know what, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to respond to that or react to that.
Absolutely.
She has not reacted. She's instead respond, and because of her grace, because of her humility, maybe her saying, her response and how she deals with him, and still just being a mother, he had to find it in himself to say, I got to remove myself out of the situation, because I'm not only hurting her, but I'm hurting my children from their
Absolutely.
mother not truly being able to see the level of happiness that she deserves.
Yes.
Because she deserves to be treated as such, as a queen. She deserves that commitment. She deserves to not have to worry about her significant other sleeping with somebody else and having a whole nother family. Because brother had a whole nother 3 kids on her. So
Come on, man.
with that being said, shout out to Kia Proctor.
Come on, man.
And
Kia
shout out
Proctor.
to Cam for walking away, because brother should have been walked away.
Let me just say this, man. Like, and y'all engage with us. Appreciate the light, Tony Green. Y'all, let me tell you something, man. Yeah, y'all can feel free if you want to chime in. Even let us know. But let me just say this: that I feel so many times, and I think this is the next topic of conversation, is to go deep with it, because let me just give you my life experience. Is that I have 2 children prior to us getting married. In my first marriage, and the level of disrespect that I had got from my ex, the level of disrespect where I got when I was fighting for my children, the level of disrespect that I had to put up over $50,000 because I felt that me as a black man having joint custody of my children was very important to me. Right. So, there were things I was willing to spend that money on my children, because I feel that's the duty and right of a father. But the level of disrespect from the ex, spreading rumors like I'm not a good father, the level of disrespect, spreading rumors of trying to tear me down on how I was good to you. Let me just tell y'all something, man. You do no justice for yourself when you try to tear down a black man like that. You do no justice to yourself, because at the end of the day, we have 2 children together.
Point blank, period.
What woman, what mother that wouldn't want you to have children, wouldn't want you to have that relationship with your father? You got to be some type of crazy ass to sit here and to fight someone from the father who wants to be involved, from a father who wants to be there, but you have a mother that wants to break that up. We have to talk about this, Tierra, because I feel this is what goes into this conversation. And I want to make sure I preface by giving a lot of credit to Kia Proctor, because I know that could be hurtful. I know that could be painful. But I want to flip the script. What about the black men out here who have been fighting for their children? This is the part of affirmative talk. This is why I'm passionate. So I'm sorry if it seems like I'm yelling, but this is why I'm passionate about. And I'm the one that filed for divorce. I'm the one that filed for divorce, but I'm being penalized that I can't have joint custody of my children. This is why I tell black men and men in general, make sure that when you're in a relationship, this is why we have affirmative talk. This is why we have Cuddle with Purpose. Make sure that you with a woman that's going to respect you, even if things that don't work out. And that's one of the things that I loved about you, TT.
What you love about me, boo?
T, let me just take, let me be very clear here. I'm so in love with this woman and I respect her because even when we have disagreements and things like that, if we do have them, which we do, she's never gone to bed mad at me. She's never showed any type of tendencies where she would try to use my child against me. Let me tell you something, man. That was one of the keys. This is why I didn't date for 5 years after I filed for divorce. This is why, for me, I had to get all that toxic. I had to get all that hurt. I had to get all that pain out of me. So I didn't want to bring it in our new relationship. This is why it's so important to me that we preface that, man, it is not fair if a mother breaks down of the black father who she decided to have children with, especially if the father still wants to be involved in the children's life. And if you listen about it, she hasn't been fighting him for child support. None of this. She hasn't been trying to come up. And this is why I say, though, it's so very important. And I'm just putting my life experience in it, that it hurts to the core when you know that things that I've went through and the system that failed me, and then my children's mother, that's so disappointing to me, because at the end of the day, we can have a great blended family if we are mature enough to look past our hurt, to look past our jealousy or bitterness, because I decided to move on with my life. I made that decision. And this is why it's so very important, is that we all have choices, whether we want to stay in a toxic environment, in a toxic relationship. But at the same day, that should not negate for you to still have a great relationship or co-blending, co-parenting to raise your children together.
I love how what this transitioned into.
Yeah, it's so very important.
It really is. It's so important.
It's so very important, because at the end of the day, let me show y'all this. Cam Newton got 7 children, bro. Cam Newton.
All 7.
Cam Newton got 7 children. 7 children. And it's so very important that, yes, you are an adult. Yes, you can move how you want to. Yes, you can, be in a relationship with who you want to be with. Yes. But now when you have children involved, it's very important now to not only think of self. If that makes sense to you. Don't think of just self now. Every move you make, you have to make sure and think about your children that you have, even with your previous children. I don't care if it's from another relationship. You have to make sure that it's more than just about you. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I see. It appears that Cam Newton is a great father. It appears to me that he is committed to being a great dad. He is committed to being there for his children. And kudos for him for that, man. Do you agree, baby?
Oh, more than. I'm staying agree.
It is. So definitely, I know that we appreciate y'all for tuning in to this episode of Cam Newton and his relationship status, but we wanted to extract the value out of it, so that way we can share with you that it's more than just about Cam Newton and his personal life. This is one that we wanted to extract about the power of relationship, the power of purpose, the power of connecting with someone and getting the best out of that relationship, so we could continue to be, or you could continue to be, the best version of yourself in the most respectful way as possible. You have anything you want to ask, sweetheart?
No, man. I'm just looking forward to talking on our next topic. But this was a really good conversation, and I just hope that people just continue to respect themselves, respect the person that they choose to be with, and if it isn't working, just be willing to walk away so that you can step into the relationship that you're supposed to be in.
Yeah. And I'm going to put our YouTube pages, Affirmative Talk and Cuddle with Purpose. You can find both of those channels on YouTube. Is you can please like and subscribe to our actual YouTube channel. We have over 1,000 subscribers on Cuddle with Purpose, and over 1,000 subscribers on Affirmative Talk. So definitely tune into that, like and subscribe. If you did like this video and it added value to you and you thought it was entertaining, you thought it was fruitful to you, hey, engage with us. Bring a comment, like and subscribe with us, because every subscriber we get, it does help out our YouTube channel so we can continue to grow and add content like this into our space and on our platforms. So my name is Samuel, and here's my beautiful wife. Ain't she so beautiful with that blonde hair? I love her so much. And those lips. So ta-ta, man. Talk to y'all later. Be good.